I'm carrying your love with me, West Virginia down to Tennessee. I'll be moving with a good Lord's speed, carrying your love with me. It's my strength for holding on. Every minute that I have to be gone, I'll have everything I'll ever need. I'm carrying your love with me. On a lonely highway, stuck out in the rain, darling, all I have to do is speak your name.
Millions in frivolous lawsuits. You know, we own the Bluebird Cafe. You know, we own this headquarters. All that happened when he was president of NSAI for 6 terms.
I'm here today because I get calls from universities and schools all over the country to come talk about various elements of the music business, of songwriting, of legislative advocacy, of the craft of songwriting. We'll start from a brief one-on-one conversation I had with Chairman Goodlatte from the House Judiciary Committee, probably the most powerful man in D.C. for our issues, day before yesterday. And one thing I said to him before we left was, you know, Chairman, the creative class, songwriters, artists of all kinds, but songwriters and singers and artists, music people especially, are the most vulnerable humans on the planet in terms of how their business is handled. In order to decide where songwriting fits into your career, whether it's a songwriter that doesn't perform, or a performing songwriter, or a producer that writes, or somebody in a band, or a manager, or the knowledge of songwriting, or a publicist, wherever it fits into your career, that was a different world, and the world you're stepping into as a songwriter is completely different. The only cash cow in the room left is terrestrial radio. What we're not allowed to do is tell some of the new streaming and interactive streaming services that just keep your money. I don't want my songs. It's not enough money. America's the only country in the world where the music in a film, in a theater, doesn't pay the composers. It doesn't pay there's no performing rights in a theater. We're the only country in the world that doesn't pay that. If all non-performing songwriting went away, you'd still have Taylor Swift, you'd still have AC/DC, you'd still have Springsteen, Stones, you'd still have lots of that stuff. What you wouldn't have is historically Elvis, Frank Sinatra, Tim McGraw, George Strait, people who are performers who want to interpret and perform songs that mean something to them. My wife woke up and I said, "How'd you sleep, honey?" And she went, "Oh, I was praying for the light of day."
Praying for daylight, waiting for that morning sun, so I can act like my whole life ain't going wrong. Baby, come back to me, I swear I'll make it right.
Who's going to want to sing it or say it? Who's going to want to hear it? And how many times a day are they going to want to hear it? Now that especially is the deal nowadays, is how many times a day.
So I just moved to town and I hear that there is not as much opportunity for new artists as there used to be. Can you tell me?
It's a changing world, it's a changing dynamic. There are still opportunities. If you believe you can't possibly fail and you're willing to fail several times, then you'll be fine. There's always going to be room for great songs and great artists and people who can combine and make unique, wonderful music.
I get carried away by the look, by the light in your eyes, before I even realize the ride I'm on. Baby, I'm long gone.
It's very important to understand what the legislative agenda, and it will change, it has changed, and it may change back in our favor in some ways through our efforts, hopefully.
Country roads, old theater marquee signs, parking lots, billboards flying by, Spanish moss, little hick town squares, wild roses on the riverbank. Girl, it's almost like you're there. Oh, every mile a memory, every song another scene, from some old movie going back in time to you and me. Every day a page turned down, every night a lonesome sound, like a freight train rolling through my dreams. Every mile a memory,